Thursday, the 5th of November, SWA, you guys will be able to solve systems by elimination 5.3a. So, this is our third and final method we're going to learn for solving systems of equations. We learned graphing twice. We learned substitution, which is what we just got done doing. And now we're going to learn elimination. What does it mean to eliminate something?
It's like get rid of it.
Get rid of it. It's gone, okay? Making it go vamoose. Okay, be gone, thought. Okay? Yes. So we have these. Wow. Okay? We have these steps to. Yeah, I know what that means.
You know what that means?
Yes. Okay, I know how to spell it too. THOT.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So, elimination using addition. You line up your x, y, and constant terms. You line them up so they're vertically in the same order. We eliminate one of the variables by adding vertically. Show me which way is vertical. Very good, up and down. Okay? Thank you for knowing what I was asking, even though I hadn't even gotten close to asking it. Okay? 3, substitute the value of the variable into one of the original equations. We've been doing this. So step 3 and step 4 are actually the same as substitution. Step 1 and step 2 are different. So in substitution, we got a variable by itself and found out like x was this or y is this, and we plugged it back in to find the other variable, right? We're going to be doing the same thing here, but how we get the first variable changes. So here in this example, x minus 2y equals negative 19, 5x plus 2y equals 1. These are two equations. Now we want them to be lined up in the same order. So do we have our x's first in both of them?
Yeah.
Do we have our y's second?
Yeah.
Do we have our equal signs in the row?
Yeah.
And do we have our constants? Does anyone remember what a constant is? Okay, constants are the numbers without variables. They are constantly that. 1 will always be 1. 1 will never be anything else. But like y can change, x can change, so those aren't constants, but the 1 and the negative 19 are. So those are lined up. So everything is lined up. That's Gucci. Now it says to eliminate one of the variables by adding vertically. So what we're going to do, I'm going to add those two equations.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's a lot.
What is x plus 5x?
Wait a second.
What is, on the left to right, what is negative 2y plus 2y? 0y. Equal sign, 0y. Equal sign, negative 18 plus 1. Or negative 19 plus 1. Which is negative 18, I just told you.
Thank you, Mr. Cossel.
You're welcome. So now, we added those and combined them into one equation. 6x plus 0y equals negative 18. Hey, wait, what's 0 times y? 0. So do I need to even write 6x plus 0 equals negative 18? Could I just write 6x equals negative 18?
Yeah.
So now, can I solve this equation?
Yes.
How would I solve this equation? What? Divide by 6.
It's 3. Negative 3.
X equals negative 3. So we eliminated one of the variables, and we finished the equation. X is negative 3 now. So now, what we do from this point forward is the same as what we did in substitution at this point. So what did we do in substitution once we found one variable? Plug it in where?
To the top. Or
Either of the original two. Do you guys have a preference?
the top one.
Okay, top, sure. They're both about the same. So, negative 3 minus 2y equals negative 19. Okay. We're substituting it in. So now what do we do to solve?
Add 3.
Add 3. Yes, Mason.
So it says 6x. What is that?
6x plus 0y equals negative 18. Okay, I'll recap it in a moment. So negative 2y equals, what's negative 19 plus 3? Negative 16. Okay, if they were the same sign, it'd be 22, Olivia. But they're different signs, so you subtract them. Okay, so now what do we do? Aiden?
Negative 2y divided by negative 2.
Yep.
And then negative 16 divided by negative
Very good. So y becomes what?
Negative
1.
Or, okay, so on the left side we get y. On the right side, what do we get?
It'd be
Negative 8.
Positive
18.
8. Just 8. Okay, so let's see my screen's down after straight. You're thinking adding and subtracting right now, Olivia, or we're dividing. Okay, so it does become positive. Negative divided by negative is a positive, but it's 18. Or excuse me, it's 8. So now, how do we write our answer?
-3, 8.
So to recap, not no cap, but to recap what we just did, we made sure everything was lined up. X, Y, equals, and constants. Every single thing's lined up. Then we added vertically. X plus 5x was 6x. Negative 2y plus 2y is 0y, basically getting rid of our y's. Equal sign. Negative 19 plus 1, negative 18. This gave us an equation we can solve. Okay? Just like substitution a bit ago, guys. This gave us an equation we can solve. We can solve this equation for x, and we did. We can solve this equation for x, and we did. Questions on that? Let's move on to number 2. In number 2, we see 2x plus 3y equals 6. Negative 2x plus 4y equals 8. Are these lined up in x, y, equal, and constant? Is everything lined up with each other?
Yes.
Yeah, and now they don't have to necessarily be in that same order every time, but as long as everything matches in the equation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so the y's and the x's could be in different orders from the first equation if we wanted, but everything's still in the same order as each other. Okay, so they're already lined up. That's good. So now what are we going to do? Add the two equations. So 2x plus negative 2x is 0x. Do I need to write 0x though?
No.
No, I don't even have to, okay? 3y plus 4y is 7y. Put the equal sign. What's 6 plus 8? 14. So I'm left with this equation, and we're like, this is a pretty nice equation. 7y equals 14. We're vibing with this, okay? How do we solve this one? Divide by 7. We're like, oh, heck yeah, we just got done doing this thing a while ago. Y equals 2. So now, how do we finish this one off?
Plug it in.
Okay, plug it into either one, okay? And why did you use the first one?
I don't know, there's just the one I picked, they're like the same.
Okay, okay.
It didn't have negatives.
No negatives, okay? No negatives, that might be a good reason. Okay, what's another reason we might pick the first one?
I picked the second one.
Okay, pick the second one.
Smaller
Why'd you,
numbers.
okay, smaller numbers in the first. Why'd you pick the second one?
Just like both of them.
Just look nice to you, okay? You can pick either one, guys. It doesn't matter, okay? Laney, I'm curious. I'll ask you what you got, but if you did it right, you should get the same answer we do, okay? So we'll use the top equation. 2x plus 3 times 2, because it's the y now, equals 6. So what's 3 times 2? 6. So 2x plus 6 equals 6. Now what do we do to solve this? Very good. Subtract 6. 2x equals 0. Now what?
Divide by 2.
Yep. How we write our answer? 0, 2. Tucker. X, comma, y.
It's fine, I wrote it that way.
Okay. Question on this. How are we feeling about these so far? Give me a thumbs up if you're feeling pretty good about these. Thumbs down if you're not.
It's gonna get harder.
Okay. Feeling not too good about it, Emily? Okay. Emily, what are you not feeling too good about?
I don't know, it's new for me, so I just need to get used to it.
Okay. Is what we've done doing making sense so far?
So far.
Okay.
No, I like this one's been easier.
This one's
Okay.
easier because you get to combine them.
This is actually one of my favorite methods. Of the three, this is my preferred method.
I have like more of an understanding of
That's good to hear.
this.
Okay. This is my preferred method, okay?
It's gonna be like, what day do we have class?
Monday.
It's gonna be like Mondays, and it's gonna like get harder.
It will get harder.
For me, it was.
I'll tell you that right now. It'll get harder, okay? But even so, this is my preferred method personally.
I like this part. This part's fine.
Okay? So we have a couple more examples we'll do.
Sometimes you have to change.
Wait, what did you say, Mason?
The new one.
Oh, we have to write them out.
The next one's hard.
The last two, we have to write them out.
Okay. Now, sometimes we have to change the signs of one of the equation, aka subtracting instead of adding. Okay, before we can eliminate a variable. So we've looked here. Is everything lined up in example 3? X, y equals constants?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So we don't have to move anything around at all. If they're not lined up, we'd have to move them around. Okay, Lainey, put it away.
Sorry.
Now, if we add right now, okay, don't do this, but if we add right now, we'd get positive x because 3x plus negative 2x. 4y plus 4y is what?
8.
8y. Do we get rid of a variable?
No.
No, now the whole point of elimination is to eliminate a variable. So that doesn't accomplish our goal. Now what if we were to subtract everything? If I did 3x minus a negative 2x, that'd give me 5x, because it'd really be like plus plus. Don't write this down yet. If I did 4y minus 4y, what do I get?
Y.
Zero.
Or
0. Is that what I want?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a good sign. So here's what we're going to do, okay? I'm going to put the subtracting symbol, and I'm going to put everything in parentheses, okay? So go and do this with me. For the subtracting symbol, I'm going to put everything in parentheses. I think this will help us. I really do. Now, what can happen is if we just keep the symbol out here, and I say 3x minus this, 4y minus this, 18 minus this, we can end up getting really confused and forgetting our negatives, losing track of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change every sign. So I'm just going to put this minus out here, and then I'm going to say, okay. Now, subtracting is the same thing as adding what? A negative. So if I change this to adding, I just have to change every single sign that follows. So what's the opposite of negative 2x? Positive 2x. What's the opposite of 4y? Negative 4. What's the opposite of positive 8? Negative 8. Now, this is going to work out okay.
Just to the bottom one?
Just to the bottom one. Great question. If we do it to the top one, we're going to end up with the same issue we just had. If we do it to the top one as well, then our 4y and 4y are going to be both negative, and that won't help us. But if we do it to only one of them, that's what's going to help us. So now, what's 3x plus 2x? Because now it's positive. 5x. What's 4y plus a negative 4y?
0.
0. Do we have to write it?
No.
Okay. 18 plus negative 8. 10. So now we have this equation, 5x equals 10. We're like, all right, bet.
That's easy.
Okay? Aiden, what do you think, buddy? Yes, good luck. Divide by 5. X equals 2. We done yet? No, we're just going to plug it in the other equation. We're almost there, though. Which equation would you like to plug it into? The top or the bottom?
Bottom. Or top.
Okay, top. Cool. Why top?
Easier.
No negatives? Okay, sure. Sometimes it's worth it to not do negatives. Some of us would rather do the bottom, though. That's fine either way. I would encourage you to do only one of the originals, though. Not one that we changed. So 3 times 2 plus 4y equals 18. So what is 3 times 2? 6 plus 4y equals 18. Now what?
Minus 6.
Subtract 6. Very good, Lainey. 4y equals 18 minus 6.
18 months.
Oh, I did.
12.
11.
12. 12. Now what?
Divide.
Divided by 4. Y equals 3. How do I write my answer?
2,
2 comma 3. Questions on that one? Okay. Now, in order for these to be ready to eliminate, we needed them lined up, and we needed one of the variables to have the same coefficient 4, but then to be different signs. If we go back to our previous ones, the y's on example 1 were the same coefficient 2's, different signs, negative, positive. Example 2, our x's were the same coefficient 2, but different signs. Notice that's what's going to take, because how are you going to get 0 by adding? Adding a positive and negative of the same number. Right? If you're adding two numbers to get 0, you have to be the positive and the negative of the same number. Let's try number 4. I want you guys to try this one on your own. Note that you might have to change some signs. When you have it or have questions, raise your hand. So 2x plus y equals negative 5. 2x minus 5y equals 13. So right now, if we add, everything's lined up, but if we add, are we going to get rid of any variable? No, we're just going to make variables bigger. Okay? So we have to subtract. But then we're like, okay, well, what's going to make our life easier is just changing the signs of everything. So we're going to make one equation and make it adding, but we're going to change the sign of the entire equation. So positive becomes negative, negative becomes positive, positive becomes negative. And we say, okay, well, what's 2x plus negative 2x? 0. We don't have to write it. What's y plus 5y? 6y. Negative 5 plus negative 13? Negative 18. So now we divide by 6. We're like, oh, bet, I love this equation. Y equals negative 3. Not quite done. We got to plug it back in. Which equation do you guys want to plug it into? Top. I'd probably pick the top one as well. Smaller numbers. 2x plus negative 3 equals negative 5. How do I get rid of a negative 3? Adding 3. Very good, Maddie. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. 2x equals, what's negative 5
-2.
plus 3? Negative 2. Divided by 2. What is negative 2 divided by 2?
0.
Negative 1. Not 0. Okay. Hannah, think about it this way.
Oh, yeah.
You have 2 pizzas for 2 people. Does each person get 0 pizza?
Yep.
No, they get 1 pizza, right?
What does it matter?
Negative 1 comma negative 3, right, Tucker?
Good job.
All right. Questions on this one, guys?
No. Pretty self-explanatory.
Okay, I like these. Okay, I'll wait. Thank you for saying something.
I think this is pretty.
Now we have a couple word problems. It's been a while since we've done word problems, right? Tobin's happy.
I did the second one.
Okay, cool. Find 2 numbers whose sum is 64 and whose difference is 42. So, 2 numbers. Do we know what the numbers are?
No.
What can we call them?
Variables.
X and Y. X, Y, call them variables, okay? And they're 2 different numbers, so they're 2 different variables. Now, we know their sum is 64. What's sum mean? Adding. Is means what in math? Equals. What's X plus Y equal?
64.
We're told that. Does that make sense how we got that from the words?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What else are we told about these 2 numbers?
The difference is
Difference
42.
is 42.
What's difference mean?
Subtract.
Subtract. X minus Y is, the difference is 42. So now do we have 2 equations, like a system of 2 equations?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and try solving this one on your own. So now we have a system of 2 equations, so go ahead and solve this one by elimination. When you have it over questions, raise your hand. I'll talk about both methods. So right now, we're good just to add and say x plus x is 2x, y plus negative y is 0, and 64 plus 42 is 106. So we should end up getting 2x equals 106. So we divide by 2, and x is 53. And that's our answer for our first number. We plug it in the either equation. Do you guys have a preference?
Top.
Top, cool. 53 plus y equals 64. Subtract 53. Y equals 11. 53 comma 11, we're done. Now, the other way to do this, guys,
I subtracted it.
would be x plus y equals 64. X minus y equals 64, and say, okay, let's change the signs, because we've been doing that. So I'm going to subtract, but then I'm going to say, okay, we're adding the opposite. So positive x becomes negative, negative y becomes positive, and positive, no, excuse me, not 64, 42 becomes a negative. So x minus x, or x plus negative x, is 0. Y plus y is 2y. 64 plus a negative 42 is 22. So now 2y equals 22, okay? So some of us only made the last number negative. We have to be very careful, okay? Either you make an entire equation negative, or you don't make any of it negative, okay? So either you make the entire equation negative, or you don't do anything. So just like before we had to do something on the left and the right side of the equation, same idea. You do the entire thing or none. So we divide by 2. And what do we get y to be? 11. Is that the same we got y to be before?
Yep.
That's a good sign. So we can plug this back into either equation. So let's say we plug it into the top. X plus 11 equals 64. Subtract 11. X is 53. And either way you get 53 comma 11. Questions over that? Okay, here's our last example problem for the day. 4 times one number minus 3 times another number is 12, period. 2 times the first added to 3 times the second number is 6. Find the numbers. Can somebody help me write these equations? Okay, Lainey, help me write the first one.
4x minus 3y equals 12.
I completely agree. 4 times one number, 4 times x, minus 3 times another number. Not the same one, a different one. Y is or equals 12. Can somebody help me write the second equation? Okay, Lainey, go ahead again.
2x plus 3y. Wait. Yeah. Equals -6.
Just equals positive 6.
Positive 6, yeah, sorry.
Yep, you're good. So now we have 2x plus 3y equals positive 6. Now, 2 times the first. So our first number earlier was x, so it's going to be 2 times x. Added 2, so plus 3 times the second number, so that was y, so 3 times x is 6. Questions on the setup for these? Now, are these equations lined up? X, y equals constants? Is everything lined up? Yeah, they're in the same order, okay? So now, if we were to add, would we eliminate the x's? No. Would we eliminate the y's? We wouldn't if we added?
Yes, we would.
Negative 3 plus 3, what would that be? 0. So would we eliminate the y's?
Yes.
Yes, we would. So we're ready to go.
So I did an extra step.
Yep, go ahead. So 4x plus 2x is 6x. Negative 3y plus 3y is 0. What's 12 plus 6?
6.
12 plus 6.
Oh.
18. Okay, Lainey, did you get 6x equals 18? What? What'd you get?
2x and then minus 0y equals 6.
Okay. Lainey, you got it correct out of happenstance.
What?
So you got yours correct by accident on this part. So on this one, we couldn't subtract them, because if you subtract them, you don't get rid of a variable anymore. Because then you have negative 3y and a negative 3y, which would make negative 6y, actually.
Oh.
So you accidentally got it correct.
Got it. Still got it.
So now we divide by 6. Yeah, but that wouldn't help you on other problems. It was like, it kind of like happily worked out this time,
Yeah.
but it was like a really lucky scenario. So x equals 3. So now, are we done?
No.
We plug it in into either equation. Do we care which?
No. Top or bottom.
Probably bottom, maybe.
Oh,
2 times 3, but we could do either, couldn't we, Tobin?
yeah.
Yeah. 2 times 3 plus 3y equals 6. Mason, what's 2 times 3?
Huh?
What's 2 times 3? Okay. 6 plus 3y equals 6. What do we do now, Reagan?
Minus 6.
Very good. 3y equals 0. Okay, Hannah, I'm going to pick on you. Divide by 3. What's 0 divided by 3?
0.
Very good. Tucker, I'm going to pick on you. How do I write my answer?
3, 0.
Very good. X, y, alphabetical.
That's surprising.
So the numbers are 3 and 0. Okay? Yes, Lainey.
So I still have a question.
Yes, I have an answer.
So, why is it wrong?
Yeah, okay. So Lainey, what you did was, let's see if I can find some room to write this. Okay? So let me erase part of this and I'll write it back up here again. So Lainey, you had these equations correct, obviously, because you gave them to us. And when you went to subtract, you said, okay, it's going to be a negative 2x, a negative 3y, and a negative 6, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so you said 4x minus 2x is 2x. Now, negative 3y plus negative 3y should be negative 6y.
Okay.
And that should give us equal to 6. But now this is an equation we can solve. We still can't solve that. So you got lucky that when you called it 0, x was still 3. And so because x was still 3, your y worked out just fine.
Oh.
But like, you got really lucky your x was still 3.
Okay, that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other question on this, guys?
No.
Okay. Boom, it's back. Okay. This is where I'm going to write it. Only do
1, 2, 3.
2, 4, 6, and 8. Do not cross them others one. Do not cross the other ones out though.
That's it?
Okay.
Only do 2, 4, 6, and 8 for next class. We will do some other problems on this later when we finish the section, but only do those 4 for now. Okay? Questions on that?